Welcome to the E2E channel, where successful entrepreneurs share their insights with aspiring entrepreneurs. Today we're here with Ron Finklestein, the founder, president, the owner of Acris, the small business success experts in Northeastern Ohio. Ron is also an author, having written the book, Celebrating Success, 14 Ways to Create a Successful Company. And a new book, The Platinum Rule of Business. And that's what we're here today to talk about.
Yes.
Tell us, what is the Platinum Rule of Business?
Well, the Platinum Rule was created by Dr. Tony Alessandra many years ago. He was a hard-driving New Yorker, and he took that hard-driving style to San Diego and proceeded to alienate everybody in San Diego.
It would do that.
It did. and he then went to Georgia to work on his marketing, his PhD in sales and marketing. And the Platinum Rule fell out of his studies as in PhD work. And it basically says, treat others the way they want to be treated, not the way you want to be treated.
What's the difference?
Well, it's based a derivative on the Golden Rule. The Golden Rule says, treat others the way you want to be treated. And that's great from a morals and ethics perspective, honesty, integrity, common sense. You really need to trust the people you're working with, but we're all different. And that's where the Platinum Rule makes allowances that the Golden Rule doesn't. Because all of us learn differently, we behave differently, we have different priorities, we have different expectations. And the Platinum Rule teaches you to see those in other people, and through minor adaptations in your own behavior, you can relate much better with people much quicker.
So it's analyzing the individual that you're dealing with, looking for behavioral attributes, and then working with those to communicate more effectively?
Yeah, there's three things that we teach people. One is the verbal, vocal, and visual. The verbal is what they say, the vocal is how they say it, and the visual is part of how they come across. The true meaning is in the vocal and the visual, the intonation, the pitch, how they use their hands, eye contact kind of thing. And then just by knowing those three things, you can see whether they're direct or indirect, or open or guarded. Direct people are very forceful, they're very opinionated, they're take-charge kind of people. Indirect people have a tendency to be a little more quiet. They listen more than they talk. They have a tendency to be very dedicated in terms of commitment to people. The open people are very people-oriented, very free with their time, very free with their energy. Guarded people are very task-oriented. They're more interested in results and outcomes than they are relationships. And just by understanding where somebody's open or guarded or direct or indirect, you can pretty much identify how they want to be treated.
Now, where does this play into being an entrepreneur? In other words, understanding those, call them Platinum Rules, plural.
Yes.
Why should a budding entrepreneur study things like that?
Well, let me address it personally. As a business owner, if you're not growing, changing, and adapting, then you're moving backwards. You've always got to be moving forward. But more importantly, everything that we do, I don't care what it is, I don't care what business you're in, what kind of relations you have, has to do with people. And your success is directly related to how effectively you work with people, you motivate people, you influence people, persuade people, and just develop great relationships with people. There's just no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Analyze yourself according to the Platinum Rule.
Well, there's 4 behavior styles that we teach. One is directors. Directors are results-oriented, accomplishment-focused. Socializers really like to look good. It's very important to them. They're brilliant conceptual thinkers and outstanding brainstormers. Relators are the people. They have the empathy. They're the people that get everybody involved and the team builders. And the thinkers are your engineers, your analytical type, and they're very much into perfection and being right. Okay. Depending on what I'm doing, I live in all 4 of those worlds. Okay. As a business owner, I'm very much of a director, very much results-oriented. When I learn as a thinker. I'm a very much a bottom-up kind of learner. At home, I have more of a relationship tendency. I tend to be more of a relator with my wife and kids. And then when I'm actually out selling, I have to put my socializer hat on. So it depends on where I'm at, what behavior style that I'm in. And that's the value of the Platinum Rule, because you can see people where they're at as they move between behavior styles and meet them where they need to be met.
For an individual who analyzes himself or herself as being in one of those categories, but needing to move their personality, their attributes, the way they come across, to be able to relate to other people. Is that a difficult process?
No, it's not. It's a matter of just being a little bit, observing the behavior, whether they're direct or indirect or open or guarded, and then just making some minor adaptations in your behavior. It's just very simple. Let me give you an example. A director is a results-oriented, bottom-line kind of individual. When you meet with a director, just stick to the facts, 1 or 2 options, 1 page only with an overview. When you're working with a thinker, they want tons of detail. Be prepared to substantiate everything you tell them, because if they don't believe you, you'll lose credibility. But they want detail and they need time to think. Relators are more concerned about the people in their lives and the impact it's going to have on the people around them. And socializers are going to want to know that they're the first and how it's going to make them look good and how they're going to be able to promote themselves even more. So it's just knowing little things like that you can customize proposals, develop relationships, even manage your employees that way.
The percentage of people who are starting to become entrepreneurs, what percentage do you think even have a grasp of these concepts? Do you think it's a great percentage? It's something that every entrepreneur needs that will help them, if you will, to become successful?
Well, Dr. Alessandra has been promoting the Platinum Rule in the Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 world for about 30 years. And we estimate through his teachings that there's probably 1 million people that have been exposed to it. In the small business market, in the entrepreneurial market, I would say probably less than 5%, because their focus typically is on something different. It's about how do I live from day to day, or how do I get that next sale, or how do I get my employees to do what I need them to do. And they're more focused on that than they are on understanding that it's much easier to get somebody done if you know what they want.
So in other words, understanding the Platinum Rule can help an entrepreneur grow.
Absolutely, both financially, business-wise, and personally. The biggest benefit from the Platinum Rule for me was developing much stronger relationships with my wife and kids. Understanding that my daughter's a thinker, my son's a socializer, my wife's a relator. And the biggest mistake that I made as a parent is I tried to treat both of my children the same. Understanding the Platinum Rule allowed me to go where they were, and as a result, the relationship has just gotten so good. So and that works in business, it works in sales, it works with employees, friends, associates. This is a universal application, the Platinum Rule.
From my experience, entrepreneurs seem to be so focused on the end result goal that many times they forget to do the things that you're talking about. They forget to be flexible. And
Absolutely.
Isn't that a trait for the very, very successful entrepreneur?
Well, individuals who have high adaptability, what I call high adaptability, are people who are flexible. They understand where they want to go, but they understand that there's barriers there and they need to be persistent in getting around those barriers. They understand the need to meet people halfway. They're also typically confident people, and they understand that there's not too much that they can encounter that they haven't seen before, or if they haven't seen it, they have enough experience that they know how to deal with it. So confidence is a big factor.
Now, we're filming this in the latter part of 2006. When does the book, The Platinum Rule of Business, actually hit the bookstands?
Well, the Platinum Rule for Small Business Mastery is at the publishers now, and it'll be available in January. And if people are interested, they'll be able to order it on Amazon.com.
Wonderful. How do we get a hold of you?
You can reach me, you can go through my website, which is www.akris.net, or just give me a telephone call, 330-990-0788.
Leave us with a favorite quote.
I love Henry Ford's quote. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
That's wonderful.
Henry Ford was
always
right
an honor talking with you, Ron.
Thank you for having me here.
And thank you for sharing your time with us today. Now, go out and make something happen.